Now if we talk about features of NFT, so the first feature is that it is indivisible, that we cannot divide it. One NFT is one NFT and it cannot be divided. This doesn't mean that you cannot create multiple NFTs, but the one NFT that is already made, that cannot be divided. Like in case of 10 rupee notes, I can divide it down to 5 rupees or 2 rupees, but I cannot do the same with NFTs. This is because rupees is a fungible item and it can be divided, while the non-fungible items cannot be divided. This is indestructible because this is on the blockchain. If any transaction comes on blockchain, it will be immutable, which means you cannot remove it ever. That is why it is indestructible. This is verifiable because all the transactions are getting recorded in the blockchain. We have seen that in CryptoPunk's example, that you can verify it also. And the last thing is that it is non-interchangeable, which means if you create an NFT, you cannot exchange it with another NFT. Exchange in the sense that these two NFTs are individual NFTs now, so you cannot exchange them. Definitely you can sell them for each other's value, but exchanging doesn't happen in NFTs. That is because they are non-fungible. Now what are the things that NFT allows? You can buy it. Buying of digital items is possible with it. Similarly, selling of digital items is also possible, and verifying ownership of digital item is also possible here. So all the things happening here is happening around the digital item. It was not the case till now. Everything was revolving around the physical items, and now as world is getting more digitalized now, NFTs are allowing digitalization of these assets. Now if we talk about the advantages of NFTs, what are the advantages as compared to physical assets? That it cannot be robbed. This is because all the assets are in digital form. These are verifiable as we have already discussed, and it ensures copyright. Now suppose any digital item, let's say the photograph that we have taken in an example, if someone sells only this image, then multiple copies of these can be created. But as we have discussed, multiple copies of NFT is not possible. What it does is it ensures copyright. So this is a very important advantage, and you can easily transfer this. We write all these things in smart contract that we want to transfer it, and all those things. We have functions for that, and with this we can easily transfer it to another address. So all these things are its advantages. Now if we talk about some other uses of NFTs, till now what we have seen is the more popularity NFT is bringing because of games, celebrities and artworks. But as a developer, you may see that in coming future, NFT can be used in companies or in economies where you can see them, is like in case of driving license, where you can store your driving license in a blockchain like an NFT. If there is any official document, you can store it in blockchain by making it an NFT, and as this can be validated and verified easily, then you don't have to carry your driving license all the time. And the same thing can be done with any other document or certificates. You can store it on blockchain and you can make it an NFT. So what will happen with that? It will give a sense of trust that this document is verifiable. And the second thing is, as the document is stored in a blockchain, this cannot be removed now. So NFT can help in storing these documents also. And then we have already seen the use of NFTs in games. It is widely used in games. You can buy a character and you can convert it into an NFT and you will have its ownership. And this sense of ownership gives you a positive feeling. So all these things comes in other uses of NFTs. Now let us talk about myths related to NFT. So here we will talk about what are the myths related to NFTs, and it is very important for a developer to understand this, because when you create an NFT for yourself or for any other client, you should know the myths and realities of NFTs so that while creating NFT, you should not get stuck anywhere. Now here, the first myth is that with NFTs, a buyer gets the complete ownership of the item. Yes, previously I have already told you that the buyer gets the ownership, but that ownership is in sense of authenticity. For example, I will tell you what you will get. Basically, you get a photograph which is signed or authenticated by the creator that this photograph I have given to this buyer. So this is what you get. Now what is the difference between these 2 points? Now understand it like this. Suppose we are using Netflix. We pay a monthly or a yearly rental to Netflix, and in return, Netflix allows us to access the content according to the plan for which we have paid. But this doesn't allow you to access the videos in the Netflix platform and you record it. So this means that access is only for you to watch that videos and not to record and distribute it. Because if you will do that, it will be wrong and it will be illegal. In the same way, when you create an NFT or you buy an NFT, it is only a version on which the creator has signed or provided the validation that this NFT he is selling to this buyer. This doesn't mean that after buying the NFT, that you can create copies of that NFT, or you can create your own NFT with that NFT and sell it. This will be wrong. The second myth is that NFT gives royalties. So these NFT gives royalties to only those people who are involved in creating the NFT. So royalties is for the creator or for the celebrity whose NFT is being made. So it is important to understand that the buyer is not going to get the royalties. Few people think that I have bought this NFT and now all the royalties will come to me, which won't be the case here. Just like by paying the membership fee, you won't get the copyright to that content. Similarly, in NFT also, the copyright belongs to the creator and it won't go to the buyer. Next myth is that NFT items cannot be copied. But actually, NFT can also be copied, and we will see that how it is done. For that, I will go to any games like CryptoKitties or any other game. I will go back to that example slide. Yes, and from here, I will open this CryptoKitties site. Now here you can copy any of these images. It's not that you cannot copy these images. Here I have opened this NFT, and now what I will do is I can download it. Here we don't have this option, but you can still take the screenshot. Here in this website we do not have that option of copy paste, but in many websites in the marketplace you can find that you can directly save or copy and paste the item. So it is not a big deal. As I told you that the images are stored in servers or IPFS, so it doesn't mean that you cannot copy it. It can be copied, it can be pasted, and it can be distributed as well. What makes NFT different is its ID thing. This one here you can see, which is written as ID1 and ID2. This makes NFT different. So you can copy paste images, but you cannot copy NFTs. So this is what drives it. This was another myth. Now let us go back to the myth slide. And now here, let us see what is the fourth myth. NFT generates cash flow. And it is not the case, as I have already told you that cash flow is generated only for the creator, and cash flow will not come to you as that NFT doesn't belongs to you. You can get cash only by selling that NFT. The next myth is that NFT is liquid. A lot of people think that NFT is like cryptos and you can go into the market and sell it and you will get cash. But it is not like that. NFT is like an artwork. So if someone wants to buy it, you can sell it. But if there is no buyer, then you cannot sell it. It won't work like a stock market. Like in stock market, you can sell a stock or buy a stock according to the stock value. But here in NFT, you can only sell if there is a buyer, or only you can buy when there is a seller for that NFT. So NFTs are not liquid. The next myth that we have is NFTs are always limited. Suppose if you are making your NFT in a third party app, then there is no guarantee that the third party app will keep your NFT limited. In such apps, you don't know what is happening with NFTs. You just upload your NFT image and they can create all the NFTs that they want. They will obviously tell you that how many NFTs they are going to make, but it is up to the third party that how many times they mint the NFT. So this was another myth related to NFT and its reality. The next myth is that NFT can only be mined by us. Now here, what is the problem is that where is NFT made? In the blockchain. Where do we have our transactions and tokens? They are all in blockchains. And in blockchain, if you see that hard fork can happen anytime. This is also called splitting of blockchain and it always happens. Now here what happens is when a blockchain gets split, the token in the blockchain will also get split. So there what will happen is, suppose you have made 5 NFTs and the blockchain gets split, then these NFTs will increase to 10 NFTs. So because of that, what will happen is the supply of that NFT will increase and the demand will decrease, which automatically will result in decrease in price of your NFT. So this thing also happens with blockchains and NFTs. One of the biggest myths that we have is NFT guarantees for an item. People think that if they have created the NFT, then the item for which they have created the NFT, that is true and completely perfect. But whereas the case is different. If you see closely, I will go back to our example slide where we have used the image. Here you can see that we have this image and it is stored in our IPFS or server. And then we have attached an ID to this. But to this ID, what item is attached, nobody knows. I mean that this ID can be attached to anything. Like now this image is stored in my server and if I want, I can change it to anything else and store it here. So all these things can also happen. Therefore, there is no guarantee that when you have created an NFT that it is of this image only. it may happen that there is something else here. This is because that there is no hashing taking place here. It's not that I have hashed these two items and I have kept it here, and the hash I have generated, it cannot be changed or removed from here. This image is actually on the server and it can be removed or replaced anytime. With that, let us move back to our myth slide. And here our next myth is that NFTs are always decentralized. As I have already told you that the NFTs that you make need not be on the blockchain. It can be on your server, it can be on your IPFS. Generally you will find it in the servers. This is mainly because you want to maintain the quality of the image. And suppose if you want to do the same thing on the blockchain, then you have to pay a huge amount for that. That is why I don't think that anybody will prefer to store it in the blockchain, and that is why NFT might not be decentralized. The next myth is that NFTs can never be blocked. People think that NFTs can't be blocked, but that is not the case, as I have told you that image is on the server or IPFS and where it can be blocked. There are different ways to block it, therefore NFTs can also be blocked. So these were some myths related to NFTs. Now let us talk about NFT marketplace.